Alright, we're here with Narset. I've played it before. I've not played the creature versions of Narset. I'm not really a fan of those two. I mean, they're really good, probably better than this one, but not my kind of thing. Just gonna play this one. Hope everyone had a good July 4th, if that's your thing. To celebrate July 4th, I'm running a red, white, and blue deck. Why not? Makes sense to me. I'm overdue for a good Jeskai controlling anyways. I'm running. There's no camera, by the way. I consumed too much alcohol. I don't look as beautiful as I normally do, so it's just gonna no camera this time. Anyways, Wrath of the Skies is an interesting one, and so is Orim's Chant. I'm not like a Storm deck or anything, but the idea of like upkeeping this on somebody is hilarious to me. They can still play a land though, so you're not like actually time walking them, but it's kind of funny. I'm willing to give it a shot. I like the idea of it. Other than like these two cards, it's for the most part kind of just the same Jeskai control thing you'd expect. I have crafted this for this deck. It's funny to think you could just randomly steal your opponent's commander, or really any kind of spell. Other than that, it's just a basic cancel, which is, totally fine too. Like scamming people with Tome of the Infinite, it's always a good time. Taking extra turns, all that jazz, just good old Jeskai control things. A lot of humiliate effects, because I think this is better than mind controlling. If I would want to completely deal with someone's commander, I prefer to do it with this than a blue mind control that just steals it. That's kind of the same for the most part. So I think this is a little bit better of a way to go. I was running a bunch of those, and I think that's really about it. We got new cards since the last time I've played a Jeskai control deck, right? Like 3 steps ahead seems really, really good, all that jazz. I don't even think the One Ring was around the last time I played a Jeskai control deck, to be honest. And the mana base is 20 times better. You have 3 color decks have 9 fetch lands available to them, so you're running 9 of those. A bunch of good targets, obviously penultimate target there. Gates, not messing around with man lands or anything like that. And just starting with Dig Through Time, no Treasure Cruise. I can see it coming in though at some point. And same with more board wipes, really. Probably want more, but for now, I'm just kind of doing like the pseudo borderline single target removal in conjunction with turning off a commander, and just hoping that that's good enough to deal with the board. But if it isn't, then I'll probably replace things like this with Day of Judgments and whatnot. But yep, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's send it. Oh no, it's Tatyova. Oh boy. What a way to start. Well, alright. It's a good enough start. I mean, this hand is weird. I don't hate it. I don't know. That's a really weird hand. Okay, let's do this. At least we're not playing against a 1-drop. Kind of surprising, actually. Kind of surprising. Sure there's like a 2-drop, though. Alright, kind of wish it was any other kind of 2-drop. Probably going to want to crack this bubble. Doesn't really matter which one, does it? Probably get Hedge Maze. There's Hedge Maze. Surely there's an Explosive Veggies. There's no Explosive Veggies? What kind of Tatyova opener is what's happening? Stifle? Tail's End? No? I wouldn't have countered that anyways. I feel like they should have cast it on their own turn because they drew something relevant. But they didn't. Alright, Hallowed Fountain. And then go get one of our few basics. Blue or red? What do I got in my hand? Another fetch land? Alright, I guess it could be blue. Let us play... So, if I play my commander, I'm not playing anything else, but I think, given that my opponent's off of blue, I'm not too scared of what they could do next turn. So, I'm actually gonna play my commander here. It's not like they can really do anything. And, just do this. Alright, if they cast their commander, so be it. There's also technically a mana rock, right? And I don't have any more lands. And we do have stuff like this in play, so... Or, in hand. Ultimate's at 6. I can technically ultimate, but then I don't necessarily win, because the ultimate is not actually that amazing. Okay, my opponent has one too, but all they did was play a land, actually. I don't even think they played a normal land, they just ramped with this Brawl instead. Okay, more ramp. They could have played Tatyova this turn instead. I almost feel like that's a better idea, although I guess I have an easy kill. Yeah, I guess I could just kill it pretty easily. I'd like to see them pay... Okay, good. This is a very honest Tatyova list. Very honest. It's very hard to do stuff like that. But I like it. Someone's gonna do it. Alright, well, they cast it, so we get to resolve, right? I don't even want to ultimate my commander. I don't even think my opponent... Okay, we're just gonna... This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna plus it, and then we're gonna Orum's Chant our opponent. Is this... Can't cast spells this turn. Okay. So, yep. We're going to kick Orum's Chant. Do you have a counter spell? You do. Oh. That's not a very good counter spell. I'm not going to fight over the Time Warp. Wow, an offer you can't refuse. That's nuts. Opponent is cooking over there. This makes it so their commander is uncounterable. That's fine. I will have to counter the extra turn now because I don't want Narset to take any damage. So... They should hold on to their land and just play it with Tatyova. There's probably no reason to play additional lands at this point, but yeah, alright. Yeah, offer you can't refuse. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, this is the greenest of things to do, right? I mean, the extra turn actually was just a 5-mana explore. Mono white. Okay. Mono white and his Elishnorn. Also very strange. Very strange. Alright, never mind. I guess we don't get to play it. Opponent said nope. Which, it does not surprise me. Mono white does not bode too well against what I'm doing. This does, though. Sort of. Of course, they're on the play. Why not? Of course, I don't have a turn 1 untapped blue source to wash away Brawl. Why not? Okay, I did find it. Lucky us. Opponent is not interested in making a move. Guess that makes sense. Let's play this so we don't get mana screwed. Color screwed, rather. And I think I actually will play this and then pass. I feel like that's a good idea. Famous last words. Let's play you and you. Same shtick. They can't fight back, so... Yeah. I mean, they can, but then they... Obviously, they can't tap out on my turn. I'll just lose the game instantly. Tap land and pass. Can't really go for my commander. If my commander resolves, I'm in a phenomenal spot. It just probably, like, won't. Ooh, my opponent missed a land drop. Yikes. Yeah, you know what? I'll fight over that. Why not? Honestly, I could have done 2 energy, because there's no way my opponent's using all of their mana. That would just be completely insane. Ooh, I barely had enough basics. That's hilarious. So I can't fight through 2 counters. I mean, I probably still cast this and just try to cast it twice in a row. That's probably the best idea. Just cast it twice in a row and hope there's no mana drain. Unbelievable. That just resolved. Okay. So, do we have a bounce spell? We do not. Wow. Nuts. They found their land. Okay. They cast Brawl. I'm going to try to kill it. Could have waited till I untapped, but it's no big deal. Can just farewell it later. Kind of interested in actually going for the ultimate. So, let's farewell creatures in graveyards. And then I am going to play my land. And my opponent's not going to cast Brawl again, but I'm sure they have some kind of bounce spell or something. Nice. Look at that. Very clean. Probably blue, red, or blue-white Surveil land. I don't think I need the Triome. Just blue-white something. Okay, never mind. No, I think it's still true. I mean, you're taking the counterspell, right? I would love them to take Teferi. That would be amazing. Yeah, of course not. Midnight Clock is interesting. Maybe this is what the game is about. It's kind of, yeah, alright, it can be a little spicy to think that, but I did think that. Especially, is like, I don't want to get rid of a land. I mean, we have EI, though. I think this is fine. Maybe it doesn't, who knows. Am I going to run it out right now? What else am I doing? Yeah, I'm just going to run it out. It's fine. I don't think I need it, but it's pretty good. We just lose to mana drain immediately. Okay, no mana drain. Okay, that surprisingly doesn't really do all that much. I mean, you can mill somebody out, but probably not going to. If I play this, then their commander resolves, but then they have to cast their actual commander, so let's make them do it, I guess. I don't even... Maybe I just -2 twice? Like, what if I just... What if I just did this? This has to be fine, right? Like, if they just cast their commander, they're not doing anything else. There's no way they're going to, right? Doesn't make sense to me. They didn't take this. I highly doubt it will ever do anything. Okay, it looks like it would have just died. Fair enough. EI looking for magic cards. So, I like the lands. I guess I'll take that. Okay. Could have taken the Steam Vents, but this is free, right? I can only choose one. Might as well take the better colored one. You can cycle this too. Circuitous Route. This game is not about Circuitous Route. I really want to like cycle this land, but I'd be looking for lands, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. They did not find the really good lands that like this can find, the value gates. So that's interesting. Both of these, well, Reprobation's alright. I don't really like this. I could take the Reprobation. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. Assuming my opponent's going to, you know, mill. So, I like this. They're down to, like, so few cards. Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't fight over that anyways. I am totally fine with just getting land here. Let's get... Wait. Don't want to lose all my life. Okay, my opponent knows of an answer, so I'm not going to commit anything. Like, they already know this exists, and we're still willing to play this. So... I would really like to play Narset right now, but I don't want to get hit by anything. I think my literal best bet is to take a turn off and just run this out right now. Instead of, like, committing off of these two. Because my opponent needs something immediately, otherwise they're just not doing anything. Yep, now I have this. Casualties of war? Yep, casualties of war, of course. What a surprise. I'm gonna crack this land here. Okay. Let's play this on white. Let's play this. And pass. Again, my commander's ultimate is not that exciting. Ristic Study is also not that exciting right now. Farewell. What does Farewell do? It gets rid of... What does it do? They did not... Wow, they didn't do that? Okay. Let's Galvanic Discharge while I have enough energy. They let me draw instead of paying 1, so they have some kind of interaction here. Okay, well, whatever it is, they weren't willing to cast it. And I lose just Ristic Study, which is probably the worst Farewell I've ever seen, because I don't think Ristic Study is going to draw anything. Yeah, alright. It did draw a card, though. Like, they had the mana to do it, so they must have had a 2-mana spell. Maybe it was a Tail's End, and they're, like, thinking about, well, you can't counter this, you just put another trigger on the stack. Wow, a Judith player, that's... that's crazy. That is Judith. Look at that. Don't see that too often. So, it's an early interactive spell. I think I can do better. No, that's annoying. One of their better 2-drops, too. By quite a bit, actually. I don't really think playing this is a good idea. For any reason. Probably going to get soloed by this 2-drop because this card is dumb. Unless I find something very good off this tome. Guess now's the time to play it. And play this. I should have played the fetch land. What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, this needs blue to work. Should have just played the Triome. Or, you know, fetched for it. Well, yeah, we're just getting smooth-brained this game. I do have Farewell next turn, but I won't have much life after the fact. Oh, okay, I found some life there. I guess that's kind of adorable. I'd love them to just play Judith. Okay, so we're gonna gain some life. We're gonna get Triome. I gotta stop having Men of Colors issues here. We take 9, 10, 11. And then I exile everything, which means it does not get blown up. Which means Judith does not trigger, and we do not die. Can I do it off of a mountain? Yes. I don't have to do anything but creatures. Still probably losing. Lightning Bolt is decent. Let's see. I don't have a good way to kill it. Never mind, I found one. That was very useful. And we pass. So I can see where Gutter Bones goes before I make a life choice. It goes face. Alright, I'm not gonna react to that. Wow. Wow. That's nuts. That's nuts. I guess the only thing they had left was Judith, and they didn't... Oh, wait. No, they only had 6 mana. This was 7, so I didn't have that either. Yeah, I mean, I feel like going to my face makes sense, but if they do, I just have to let that happen. I really don't want to take myself off of these in case something wild happens. I don't know what it could be, honestly, but I don't feel like there's a large difference between 5 and 3. Dolly has to resolve. Are we on the play with a 1-drop? Nope. I probably will not kill this. Let's just play that, yeah. That, I'll tuck that away. I'll just not deal with that card. Alright, looks like it was really good that I did that. Maybe they had a 3-mana ramp spell, and now they just can't cast. Yep. I mean, this is what we do. Sure. It was a 3-mana ramp spell. Wow. What a surprise. Fascinating. Let's get you... And then I can remove one of these. I guess I can kill Ruby with the removal spell that I would have just cast normally. That's fine. I'd like them to go land commit to adapting. Just smooth brain ramp. Teferi does not stop their commander. Let's see, if I make mana here, and then I cast Teferi and untap 2 lands, I do have this. Okay, so this is fine. And then once they cast Atali, they'll probably concede when it doesn't resolve. I will not fight over that. Xenagos. I probably should fight over that so I don't lose the game. That'd be probably a good idea, huh? I don't want all this, like, out of nowhere haste I have to deal with. It could be a huge problem. Let's see what this draws before I see what to do with my Narset here. Okay. Actually gonna minus the Narset for value. Get rid of... I guess I could get rid of this, actually. Yep. Kill the Anarchomancer, whatever. Play this, and pass. Oh, it's tapped. Opponent, it's tapped. Oh no. Sure. I cannot make that lose all abilities. Like, that won't do anything. It will still have 3 1/1 counters on it. Assault Strobe. Yep, of course. Good old Assault Strobe. Love to see it. Good old Assault Strobe. Let us play you, and I guess play this? Why not? Farewell is good, and Reprobation is probably slightly better than the alternative. And no activate in response wansy at anything. Let's just untap. Get rid of Stroby Woby. They can now cast Atali, and they have the spare mana to play around my stuff. Do I find a good thing? Nope, of course not. Alright, well, I did not want this to be reality, but there's not many good hits in my deck. It looks like they literally didn't get one. And I cannot counter this either, right? This is 2. Yeah. Alright, I don't own any fairies. Alright. I mean, these are getting worse and worse, so I guess I'll just run it out. Like, these cards are just... The soft counters aren't gonna do too much here. Farewell, getting rid of enchantments and creatures. Man, who would have thought Farewell's pretty good? So, enchantments, creatures. I like my graveyard, and my opponent doesn't really use theirs. Yeah, alright. Yeah, once the Tali was going to get answered, the game was over. Whether it was being countered or just removed, we got rid of a lot of their mana this way, too, because they committed a ton to adapting. So we got rid of a ton of mana there, a ton of time investment. To vary again, but it's going to get hit by a discard spell, probably. Probably still going to keep this, though. Haven't actually played any extra turns yet. Oh, no, we did in the first game. What am I talking about? We did in the first game. I will leave up this. I will not let my opponent draw multiple cards a turn. I will proceed to now play nothing. I need a Surveil land. Can be blue-white Surveil land. Alright, never mind. My opponent plays multiple cards a turn. Fun. Silly me. So you ever thought I could do something about that? Of course not. Yep, that's mandatory. Let's play you. And then do nothing. I can play Teferi next turn, but that doesn't really feel great. I would like to Karn's Temporal Sundering next turn if I find a land. Creature or battle. Alright, well that just completely whiffed. Looks like we did get the extra turn. Is that what I want to do here? I think it actually is. So let's bounce this? Right? I mean, why would I not bounce this? In what universe do I not bounce this? Okay. I probably will ultimate Narset so I have a way to win this game. I think I just have to do this. This feels just like a good idea. Yeah, alright, nice. My opponent was wondering if I was going to do it, and I'm like, alright, yeah, I probably should do it. Uh-oh. The old black-white, very slow control kind of thing, I think. Possibrew. Okay, this hand is interesting. I want 2 untapped lands, though, which is a little unfortunate. But it is what it is. Okay, my opponent doesn't want to play. I don't know why the turn 1 decision made them not want to play. I don't know what they thought I was going to do in turn 1. Ragavan, maybe? Okay. Sure. Why not? Opponent struggling with their turn 1 land. Fascinating. Okay, I'm always playing this here, so Hollowed Fountain seems like a good idea. I can play... I'm going to do a bunch of different things next turn. I don't necessarily have to leave up my mana next turn cycle. I mean, I imagine they have mana rocks too, right? Their commander costs 6 mana after all. Well, if they do, they don't have it. Sure. Both our Narsets are now the same mana cost, except my opponent's Narset is way better. Way better. No big deal, though. So we'll play this, see what's on top. Stasis Field doesn't work, and I don't really need another land, so I guess we can just get rid of both of these. No big deal. Could have just milled Stasis Field, honestly. Just milled it because it's not a card I ever want to, like, draw, and I am going to shuffle. Yeah, I probably just wanted to mill the Stasis Field. I would have actually drawn... No, I wouldn't have, because I'd shuffle. Would not have drawn this. So the Palantir is kind of breaking this into our favor. But not quite yet. Alright, I definitely don't want that. Maybe we want Faithless Looting. I like the idea of getting rid of cards that are bad in a matchup, and that happens a lot, so there's merit in that. They didn't have a mana rock, though, which is kind of huge. Them playing an honest game can be kind of tough for them, but who knows, maybe it isn't. What is this? Just cycling it? Okay. They didn't miss their land drop, so... means maybe a 3-mana counterspell or something. Wrath is not ideal. This costs 7. I could just keep it on top. Yeah, let's just keep it on top and smack them for 7. The more we do that, the less they can actually continue to just lose life to it. And again, I'm just never actually going to cast that card. I mean, by the time I would, it wouldn't really do anything anyways, unless Narset was in play, and I probably won't be casting Narset either. Man, to cycle this Fire Prophecy would be paradise. Shoot, I'd blow up my own token if I could. Okay, I could just go for it. It's not like I get punished on the way back, really, but I also just don't want my opponents to draw off of the curse. Let's go ahead and not do that. Alright, we do take the loss. Oh, that was a really rough bunch. There was 5 lands in a row, by the way. 5 lands in a row. Kinda nuts. Alright, well, I'm not making my land drop this turn. A little sketchy, but guess we're still kind of fine. Dig Through Time in Tails End. Both of these are excellent. They're not going to let me have the Tails End, though. Well, I mean, they either do or they don't. They can actually just literally die right now, so they gotta be careful. Wow, they took it. They just died. They just died. They just died, dude, from 13. So greedy, dude. Like, I know it doesn't matter till, like, the bitter end, right? Like, you want to get as close as possible. You don't want me to start drawing 2 cards a turn. But like I said, once this starts to draw, we start to win the game in a Jeskai draw go kind of control-y thing. When both of our commanders are 6 mana, it's just so unlikely we're ever like gonna try to go for them, right? You have to have kind of a really good set of things to ever go for it. And if my opponent didn't die, I could maybe surprise them with Lightning Bolt if they got super, super close. So that is hilarious. But I think in hindsight, I probably wanted to bin this or put it to the bottom, because I think looking for higher numbered cards are fine. But honestly, if they kept it on top and I drew this, I would like to have that on top. So I don't know how true that is, but that's just so funny. They really thought about it too. They're like, there's no way I'd die. They like really sat down and thought. Preferably Delighted Halfling too. Looks like they don't have it, so I can play this then. Do we have the 2-drop? We do not have the 2-drop. Wow. Play Untapped Land in case I don't cast a spell this turn cycle, which is probably very unlikely. No Growth Spiral. That would have probably been a bit of a concern for us. No land at all. That's completely bananas. Do we have Tails End? I don't think you'd want a Tails End this, though, actually. Maybe some kind of interaction, I guess. I don't really know how to respond to said interaction in a Nadu deck. Guess I'm just not doing anything. Midnight Clock is not what I want. Oh, wait. I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. Never mind. Gilded Goose. Gilded Goose. Let's cast this. Do you have like a Spell Pierce, maybe? Be kind of weird if I go for Narset and kill the goose then you're just back to like square one. I could have also just abraded this. Alright, well, they have something and weren't willing to cast it. Okay, it could be Tamio's whatchamacallit. Target permanent gains protection, or is indestructible, I mean. Let's see. What do I do now? I'm not 100% screwed if they spell pierce this, so. I kind of wish I had Wash Away now, though. Kind of wish I had Wash Away. Yeah, but we're not totally screwed if I don't have Wash Away. It would obviously be phenomenal if I did. Alright. Didn't need it. Could have more interaction. Do I care? Could just go for it again here. Nah, let's just not do it. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the driver's seat right now because my opponent has 2 lands. So why would I lose that driver's seat? Okay, that was a very good draw. Okay, I mean, I cannot respect Spell Pierce, but I think it's still Tamio's safekeeping is my read. So, I'm going to send it. Oh, okay. Sure, they gave me a win condition. Love it. Do we have 3 land drops in a row? We do not. Oh, we do. We do have literally 3 lands in a row. Okay. Okay. I can take an extra turn. Doesn't really do anything. Let's get a Surveil land. That's another counter spell. Between these two, I think I really want to kill this one. I can technically deal with all of them. So let's do... Yeah, if one of them was going to, like, persist beyond this, it would... I guess I'd prefer them to keep the Nissa, so I'll do it like this. It's fine. Tatyova? No. Actually, let's cast this one. Let's cast this one. Don't think I'm ever going to use it to draw, and this can draw later. River's Rebuke. Probably not the best thing to do right now. If I play this... Oh, I cannot play it. Alright, never mind. And I don't really see a reason to play this. I mean, I could. I could play it. I just don't see a reason to. Sword of Dumbness. Nope. So far, my opponent's playing weird stuff. Seems to be a recurring thing. I will now... No, wait, no. No, you have that. Knock yourself out. No land. They did not find a land. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cycle this extra turn card. I will not cycle the land, though. Yeah, let's just cycle this here. Found a pretty good card, actually. So if I play this and my opponent only plays Nadu, we're kind of fine. So this is probably the time to run this out. I don't even care if Nadu resolves, because I have River's Rebuke. They have no additional mana when they cast it. They're just, like, tapped out. Nadu looks like it's doing a good job at playing, like, a slow game, but I really don't think it is. Doesn't seem like it's doing a good job. Playing, like, this draw-go thing. I mean, they were mana screwed for a while, but, like, still. They can activate Shifting Woodland and almost kill my Narset. That's something they could do. Although that's probably not the most ideal thing to do. I wouldn't like to be in that situation, but it was an argument to not swing for the turn because of that. I hadn't really registered that as a possibility. Okay. They do just want to kill Narset. Guess that's fair. Yep, I guess I wish I didn't attack. No big deal, though. I'm not out of this. Oh, I forgot to swing this time. Now it didn't matter. I should have swung. Whoops. Like I said, my opponent did give me a win condition. I have to, like, actually use it. Alright, so... Oh, wait, I have a token! I actually have a token. I have a creature. This actually works. Sweet. That's hilarious. Yo, thanks for the token, bro. This actually has use still. Let's get rid of River's Rebuke. Oh, they drew a land too. That's adorable. Alright, swingies. Well, at least the clock is identical because I missed the attack. That's funny. I have to draw here. They can't let me not draw. I mean, I guess they could, but I don't know if they're in a position to, like, yeah, I didn't think so. And they probably just concede when I cast the next counter spell. Displacer Kitten. Yikes. Does that cause a problem? I guess I can see how it would. Maybe let's just deal with it this way we can. Mana Drain, easy. So that can go away, and I guess the land can go away because I can't play it at instant speed. And let's try to Mana Drain. If they counter it, we have the Lightning Bolt. Yep. Alright, we just completely bullied Nadu, but that's not really a surprise. Nadu doesn't do too good of a job at playing a control back and forth thing. Now, they did miss lands. They did miss lands, but I kind of had everything that they did taken care of. I should have sequenced the counterspell wash away backwards. Like, I should have kept the wash away. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, yeah, this... Even, like, they're just not going to... They have too much, like, weird stuff in the way to play a draw-go control strategy. So, this was phenomenal. Narset, I don't think was this good last time. I would say, well, obviously, the Jeskai shell of, like, control, counterspells, and card draw, you know, the one-for-one removal even was... It's just better than it's ever been. And it's... This was a good showing of that. Like, this was phenomenal. Nadu didn't feel like a problem. I think I still lost to turn 1 Ragavan. Yeah, I lost to turn 1 Ragavan. I mean, there's ways to circumvent that. You could kill it or whatever, but that did happen. Big mana decks felt kind of beatable too, right? Just don't counter the ramp spells. Counter their, like, 2 or 3 actually big spells that they ramped into, and they're just kind of out of things to do. I never felt like I ran out of cards, even though Narset is way worse than Teferi. Just not having a draw on a plus is abysmal. I did sometimes utilize the mana, but there was a fair amount of times I actually did not get to utilize the mana, at least the turn I cast it. And that's kind of awkward, right? This is categorically worse than Teferi. But, the red felt fine, right? Like, justifying running Jeskai and not blue-white. I mean, I was trying to play a red, white, blue deck mainly, but that felt fine. I did take out some cards and added some more basics, and I think I smoothed out some of the mana there, and that helped a little as well. I never got to Wrath of the Skies, but I can't envision Wrath of the Skies ever being bad. I know it blows up your own stuff as well, namely not Planeswalkers, but your own stuff does get hosed by it. The one card that could be in here that wasn't is probably Lauren Revealed or whatever, the 5-mana draw 3, cycle 1. It's like if you need a land, you can find a land with it, and if you're way late in the game, you can draw 3, or you could just get rid of it with this, and that's just 5 damage on the -2. That's actually far above average on the whole deck, so I actually really like Lauren Revealed. Don't know what I would take out. Maybe one of the extra turns, like... These are decent once you get going, but I'm starting to realize that, like, I didn't necessarily need to spam extra turns to, like, race to this ultimate, because the ultimate isn't that exciting, and just casting this, like, doesn't really do anything except sort of play an additional land, land for the turn, and that's not worth 7 mana, right? Oh, I mean, if you ever get Emrakuled, they could just cast the red side of it, and then you just lose the game. I mean, that's probably not going to ever happen, but it could, you know, something to think about. So yeah, I don't think the extra turns were super important really at all. Even if they cost 1 less because this generates a mana, I just don't think I'm taking an extra turn and really doing anything at all with that extra turn, unless Teferi's in play, and Teferi's not in my command zone, so... That's just not ideal. I mean, the One Ring is another extra turn card, and so is Palantir. Like, these are decent extra turn cards. But for the most part, I really don't think I needed them. I really don't. Maybe you could keep Epiphany, but again, this absolutely did not feel necessary. It was like the least... every time it was in my hand, I'm just kind of thinking to get rid of it with Narset, right? Which is an argument to actually run Faithless Looting, just so... I think Faithless Looting is good in even control, tap out on your opponent's turn, or stay untapped on your opponent's turn, not tap out control. Just because you sometimes do have cards that are totally dead in a matchup. Like, oh, Volcanic Spite is probably really bad in a blue-white or some kind of Grixis or, you know, controlling mirror sort of thing. It's totally fine to run Faithless Looting to just get some cards out of your hand for better ones. And it can happen twice, right? It can happen twice. There's other draw discards too that sort of do similar things. One of them being this card. I'm a huge fan of it. The Seek card, not the 3-mana one, the 2-mana one. This one's just, it's kind of like a Faithless Looting. All right, there's a card in your hand you don't want. Well, now it's gone. Right, I really like that. This one is sorcery speed. It's all right. It's obviously better than Divination, but I don't know. This is wishy-washy to me. It's hard to ever just tap on turn 3 for like a spell like this. Okay, so yeah, I did a little tweak in here. I think these cards are better than the cards that I took out. So that makes sense to me. Static Prison is interesting because it's a 1-mana answer to everything. And if you hit a commander with it, your opponent's not going to leave it under the Static Prison. And if they do, they're probably nuts. I know they get it back when you run out of energy, but for the most part, I don't envision people really doing that, right? Instinctively, people don't do that. So it's a safe bet that this will just cleanly answer things on turn 1, or just, you know, a 1-mana answer to any kind of commander, whether it's a, you know, planeswalker or creature. I think that's totally reasonable. Oh, right, the last thing I wanted to say is I wasn't running all the mana rocks on 2 because unlike basically every single commander that costs 4, you don't really have to play this one on turn 4. There's plenty of games where that is not the right play. And yeah, I mean, we saw that a lot. There's no real reason to feel like I have to race this into play. I'm playing a Jeskai control deck. There's a lot of avenues to do that without any commander at all, right? We've seen like crappy blue-white commanders just to lower your deck weight so your opponents are weaker, but you still have like a Giga tier just control deck shell that just has like a trash commander. Now this is not that. This is not a quote-unquote trash commander. It is a good card. It's not the best Jeskai control card in my opinion, but it is pretty solid. Especially when people decide to concede to the ultimate, even though the ultimate might not actually win the game. I think that's, you know, something to take note of. There's a lot of things, like a big green deck could just not care that they're taking 2 to the face every spell, because you're probably not going to be killing creatures with those shocks. Not any, like, big thing, at least. But, I don't know, there's value in just racing to the ultimate regardless. But, I mean, this itself is kind of a pseudo-mana rock, right? It's a sorcery speed mana rock, which is, like, the worst of all time. I'm surprised the mana on this doesn't stay till your next turn or whatever. It's just counterintuitive, you know, to, like, plus this the turn you play it, not use the mana for anything, and then, like, yeah, it's just kind of weird. The plus is not a control-friendly plus. It's kind of awkward, but the minus is solid. The minus is solid, I guess. But yeah, this was fun. I liked it. I kind of smoked everybody I played against. It's kind of crazy. I wasn't feeling too good today either. I was kind of just laying back. But, I mean, control is where I feel most at home, and I feel like I made a lot of really good plays. And, yeah, like I said against the Nadu opponent, when they gave me the 2/2 flyer from a Swan Song, I'm like, oh, you gave me a link condition. And guess what killed my opponent? The 2/2 flyer. After like 12 turns or whatever. It's funny. Alright. Let me know what you thought about this Jeskai control list. Let me know how your July 4th was, if that was your thing, if you're American. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.